Hey, welcome back to Postal Barbecue. I'm Jabin Postal, and today at the grill, we're making up some amazing smoked ribs with Alabama white sauce, which is gonna blow you away. And so just like always, I'm gonna put all the show notes as well as the full recipe in the description box below, so make sure to click down there to see everything that you need for this cook. Also, if you like what we're doing on this channel, consider subscribing for more great barbecue recipes, tutorials, and reviews. And other than that, let's get into the cook. As I said, welcome back to Postal Barbecue. I appreciate you being here. Today at the grill, we're gonna be making some delicious Alabama white sauce rib singles that are absolutely wonderful and are gonna make a great party food or just appetizer when you get together with friends and family over the summertime. And this recipe is simple to do. The only thing that I really have to start out with is some baby back ribs, as well as all of my spices and seasonings for making our Alabama white sauce. And when it comes to choosing your back ribs, I always like to choose a more meaty back rib because we are cutting them down into single rib pieces for this recipe, and it just provides a more meaty bite with the end result. And so with these back ribs today, I haven't done anything to them. The membrane is still on, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the back of a spoon or just a butter knife is fine too, and I'm going to wedge this underneath the membrane. Get my finger under there, and I'm going to remove this membrane completely. Go. And so with my membrane removed, I'm now going to slice these into rib singles just by following the curve of the bone, just like that. There we go. So just take a look at these rib singles now. You can see that there's a lot of meat on that bone. And the advantage of doing it this way is, one, you get that presentation of being more party food, but these ribs are also going to cook a little bit faster than if we left them intact, as well as we're going to get a little more flavor on the entire outside of these ribs because we have more surface area for our rub and that sauce to really get onto these ribs, making them absolutely delicious. So when it comes to seasoning these ribs today, we want to keep those flavors a little bit more neutral. A salt, pepper, garlic blend is a great choice. And the rub I'm using today is Southern Belle by my buddy over at Gulf Coast Smoke. This stuff is really great. So I do find that when you're seasoning ribs that are cut into singles, you don't want to put as much of the rub on as you might normally put a rack of ribs because you're seasoning the entire surface area versus just the top and the bottom. So go a little bit lighter than you might normally go with some ribs, or if you have a low salt rub, that's going to go really great with this recipe as well. There we go. It's as simple as that. And so with our back ribs all prepared and ready for the grill, let me show you how I set up the slow and sear kettle for cooking between 250 and 275 degrees. So to set up our grill today for cooking, I placed in about 20 briquettes into the slow and sear, and I got those coals fully lit. Next, I filled up the remainder of the slow and sear basket, and then I closed the lid and allowed that temperature to stabilize between 250 and 275 degrees. Okay, so my grill is set up between 250 and 275 degrees, and I'm gonna place my rib singles onto the grill opposite the coal. So we're cooking with indirect heat and allowing the smoke to really penetrate into these ribs to add a ton of extra flavor. So let's get them into the grill. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a little bit of hickory wood to add some smoky flavor to these ribs. That's that in. I'm going to close up this lid, and it's going to take about 3 hours of smoking these ribs for them to get nice and tender and bite off the bone. And so we'll come back about halfway through, give them a flip, a little bit of a spritz, and then make our white sauce. Okay, so our ribs have been smoking away for just over an hour and a half now, and the ambient temperature inside the grill has been rock steady around 260 degrees. And so I'm gonna open up the grill. I'm gonna first give them a spritz using a combination of half water, half apple cider vinegar, and then we're gonna give them a flip just to promote some even cooking. So let's go take a look. Just look at these ribs. They got some really nice color on them, and you can see that some of the fats that are inside those ribs are starting to render out. I'm gonna spritz these first. There we go. And then I'm going to quickly flip them around. And like I said, this is going to help promote some even cooking. We're going to get some nice color on both sides of these ribs. And I'm also going to give it one last spritz. So I'm going to quickly close up this lid again, and I'm going to continue to cook this for another hour to hour and a half until those ribs become bite-through tender, so they just pull right off the bone, and with every bite, they're going to be absolutely delicious. While our ribs are finishing cooking in the kettle grill, I'm going to go ahead and make our Alabama white sauce. And if you've never had Alabama white sauce, this is one of those recipes you need to try out. To start out with, I'm going to start with 1 cup of mayonnaise. So I'm going to place that into my bowl. And then to that, I'm going to add in 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Next, I'm going to add in the juice of 1 lime, and oftentimes you see lemon used in this recipe. I actually prefer to use lime, and partly because I always have limes kicking around the house, and so 1 freshly squeezed lime is going to be added to this. Next, I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of horseradish. There we go, a little bit more than that. There we go. And then lastly, I have 1 tablespoon of black pepper as well as 1/2 tablespoon of sugar. And so I'm going to dump that in there. And then I'm just going to mix this all together thoroughly. And you know, this is the consistency that I'm looking for. You can see that it's fairly thin with still a little bit of body to it. And this is going to be absolutely perfect when it comes time to putting it on these ribs. I've just now hit the 3-hour mark of this cook, and the smell back here is so good. You can really smell that smoke and the ribs really just coming together in a nice way. And so let's go ahead and open up the grill and just see how they look. Guys, just look at how nice the color is on there. You can see that the smoke has really adhered nicely to these ribs. The aroma's great. And so one of the things that I'm looking for is this bone pullback here. On the singles, it's a little bit harder to tell when they're done because you can't do a bend test or a pull test. But what you can see here with the bone pullback is exactly what we're looking for. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna grab my bowl, put them all in there, then I'm gonna toss them in our Alabama white sauce. So I'm just gonna spray this into our bowl, get a nice coating on there, and then I'm just gonna mix these up. Guys, just look at the color on these ribs. They look and smell phenomenal, but they're not quite done yet. I'm gonna place them back onto the grill for about 10 minutes to allow that sauce to set up. Let's close this back up. And as I mentioned, I'm gonna let this cook for another 10 minutes to allow that sauce to set up nicely, and then we'll come back and get ready for the taste test. All right, so in just over 3 hours, these Alabama rib singles are all done, and they smell absolutely phenomenal. The aroma, the presentation, oh my goodness, I can't wait for the taste test. And you know, not gonna lie to you, I did have a taste of one of the ribs without the sauce on it, just to see how it was with the barbecue rub, and it is amazing. I really enjoyed this rub already. With that said, I'm gonna grab one of these and go for the taste test. This one here has been calling my name. I did go ahead and drizzle some of the extra sauce on there, and oh my goodness, I can't wait. Let's go for the taste test. Oh my goodness, amazing, absolutely amazing. You know, there's a reason why Alabama white sauce is so good. It's rich, it's tangy, it's peppery, it's all things good, especially when paired with something like chicken. But when you throw it on some ribs like this, it's out of this world delicious. The flavor is rich, it's smoky, it's tangy, it's peppery, it's absolutely phenomenal. So if you've never tried Alabama white sauce on ribs before like this, make sure to give it a try because you won't be disappointed. The flavor is outstanding, and it might just be your new favorite dish. So that's how you make those smoky and delicious Alabama white sauce ribs for your next feast. You're gonna love them for sure. Hey, if you want to see more barbecue videos just like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. Also, special thank you to all my patrons out there who help support this channel every single week. So until next time, keep that fire lit and get cooking.